Oh my god.
So I got one more thing on the animation docket. Being deemed as the worst show on
It gets
television
worse. It gets worse.
is Velma on HBO Max. So Velma currently has a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 6% audience score and currently has a 1.3 out of 10 on IMDb. However, it has the biggest premiere day of any animated original on HBO Max.
Everybody came out to see something and hated it. That's what
pretty
you
much
just
what that
said.
says. I'm not gonna lie.
You grabbed everybody's attention. Everybody's at the Roman Coliseum to see this gladiator match, and
Yeah.
it was trash.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I had been seeing clips on Twitter, but I watched the first 2 episodes, and the jokes just didn't hit for me. That joke was not funny. And I feel like a lot of it was like forced jokes. Like, I see where you were trying to go with this, but it didn't stick the landing.
Velma feels like somebody who's on Twitter and is saying, you know what, I'm going to give them something they like. And they don't realize that Twitter is not real life.
I mean,
That's Velma.
You gotta look at who Velma is being played by, not even to like
Yes. So
really
Great
poop
point.
on
The way
because
go.
I will say Mindy Kaling, she did a good job in the office. She was nice,
but
there,
she was a
good
side.
there. But she was a side,
Yeah.
and now we're taking her and putting her in, the main character position in a already, evolving area of like jokes that you don't want to touch, or like you pretty much walk a fine line when it comes to being a comedian now. Like,
but I think it
but
might.
like as
Go ahead, Ron.
Like even with the fine line, as a comedian, either you're going to be risque and piss this group off, or you're going to be safe and piss this group off.
Mm-hmm.
She pissed off both groups. She created the line. She like built a trench and walked through there and shot at everybody. Like,
yo, that's wild.
Like, who is the audience for this show? Like,
I don't know. I think just some of the new, like the way that they changed the characters just seem weird. Like the whole Fred joke with him not, he hasn't gone through puberty yet, and he has a small dingaling. Like, why? Like, why would that be? Why center on that? Like, there's a lot of things that you can joke about Fred, but why that? Then they turned Shaggy black, and his whole thing is simping over Velma to the point that he was about to sell his kidney for $500. I'm gonna be weird. Ain't no black dude selling his kidney for $500
touch on it.
to get some girl. The simping from Norville, because his name is Norville. His name is not Shaggy. Was, I don't know. It was a bit. It was cringy to me. It wasn't like, oh, you're a simp. It's like, you're a simp.
It's like the show wanted to be what Family Guy and American Dad were able to accomplish, but
it was so
it didn't work.
So we had this discussion on Twitter, but I hadn't seen Velma yet. So now that I've seen Velma, to go back to our discussion, there were moments where it had that. I'm gonna call it a Family Guy moment. You guys know when Peter says something and then it immediately shifts to the thing that he was talking about, and then it's like, oh my god, why would y'all do that? Blah, blah, ha, 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 ha. So they tried to do it, but I feel like they tried one. For me, it felt a little too fast. It's like you said the joke, boom, here's the joke, and I was like, okay, you didn't really give me time to like. I see what you're trying to do, but it's not sticking the landing.
Yeah.
Like the different random phrases, or the parts of the dialogue that was supposed to be like an out of pocket type joke. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing what you guys are trying to do, but it's not. It's
just
not
felt
hitting.
lazy.
Yeah.
like.
I feel like maybe I see what they tried to do, and I just don't think that maybe the Scooby Doo franchise was something to do that with.
And I'm gonna say something divisive. I don't feel like this movie is a 1. I feel like it's like a 3 or 4. But them tying Scooby Doo to it made it that much more worse because it's one thing to get a IP that already exists, King Arthur or something, and then be like, you're going to revamp the story. You got what was the original characters. You ain't even read the Spark Notes. You read like the first sentence on Wikipedia. Still threw that away and did your own thing, but kept the name Velma. And that's just what it felt like. You didn't have. If you named this show Veluma or Veteran, I don't know. Give her a different name and just make her. I don't know.
You don't know no V names, no Veronica, nothing.
You know what? There we go. You're right.
You said
You're
Veluma.
Right.
Like what?
You're right.
You could have said Voltron. Like you don't know no V names.
But that's what I'm saying. If you name this show Veronica and it's like a meta humor, risque, we make everybody mad show, it would have been a 3 or 4 because it's just an average show. Like the graphics and the animation, I hate the way that American cartoons look, but the animation was quality in the show. I can't deny that.
It
looks great.
If we want to go back to the jokes, like you compared it to Family Guy and American Dad, it fit in that era of animation that those type of shows fall into.
Yeah, it's like it's lazy writing. Yeah, it's not. It's the jokes don't hit. Yeah, the animation's great though. It would have been like a 3 or 4 in most people's eyes, but you tagged Scooby Doo to it, and that made everybody pissed off.
I think it's that. I think because you named it Velma, we have so many years of expectations and connections and visibility on who Velma is as a character. So like when the idea, like when the promotion was coming out, solo show on Velma. We know Velma Dinkley. We ride with Velma. And then you get to the series and it's like, okay, this is not the Velma that I'm used to. And then the way that you're introducing her, you're still not making her a likable character. Yeah. Like I get shifting the formula, but like I'm not vibing with this one
right now.
Like, like we've seen adult Scooby Doo, baby Scooby Doo. What all the other iterations of Scooby Doo?
What's new Scooby Doo? We didn't see so much Scooby Doo. We didn't see live action Scooby Doo.
Exactly. Like if they was going for edgy Scooby Doo but adults, I would have been against that. Show Shaggy doing some Jane Mary. You know what I'm saying? Show Freddy doing some rich boy stuff. But if y'all did it right, it could have worked.
We gonna have you listen to Rick James after this episode. Jane Mary.
I didn't know
Jane Mary.
Because I was, like some words are like
it's Mary Jane, my guy.
I know, but I just was like, I know that some words be blocked out, and I was like, did YouTube catch on Mary Jane?
Why would YouTube block out Mary Jane?
I don't know. Maybe they caught up. Maybe they caught up to the hype. Like they know these words are bad, but Mary Jane, we gonna catch that. We get it now. Like we get the joke now. It's like when you say "son of a biscuit" around your mama, and then like you said it enough times, and she gets it.
I want you to go to YouTube right now and type in Mary Jane. I bet you $5 the first thing that's
gonna show me Spider-Man.
It's gonna show you Rick James.
It's gonna show me Spider-Man. YouTube. I'm gonna check right now. Hold on.
Look up Mary Jane. I feel like it's gonna show you Rick James. It's Rick James.
Next topic. Next topic.
And I want my $5. And I want my $5.
We ain't bet no money.
I want my $5.
Look, next topic. We said Velma bad.
Fine.
What we talking about?
Oh my God, I'm crying.
We done with Velma. He makes me sick. But overall, I just think the humor in Velma is not where it should be. I think, and I think that's the part that's turning everybody off. Like the humor. Like if you back out of the humor and you see the storyline that they're trying to follow, the mystery is there. Like what they're trying to solve, but the layers, everything else that you're adding on top of that is off-putting to me.
Yeah.
So if I had to continue watching the series, it would to be like, what's the end game of this mystery that you guys are trying to solve? But I'm not watching it for anything else.
I'm not. Unless you say, "Oh, we doing a review for it," I'm not watching this.
No,
I haven't even
all
started
right.
it. I'm gonna tell you that now.
It's fine. I only watched 2 episodes just to give a bit of input on it.
Ralph, when I watched the second episode, this was my face the entire time.
Same. I sat in my bed. And I was like, damn, I ain't laughed once. I ain't laughed once.
I don't even think I blinked. I just couldn't.
I just felt like I was sitting there watching a show. Like, I'm literally watching brainless television.
True brainless television, like real.
Like
this is in the background while you do homework.
No, this is. I only watched it because just to see what all the hate was about.
Well, now we know.
What's up, y'all? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get more updates from the mob. For the full discussion and more discussions like this one, click the link in the description. Thanks for watching.
Rock with it, let me pop my shit, let me pop my shit, hands up.